What? Again? You want to have this argument again? Why do you keep bringing this up? Haven't we been through this 1,000 times? Why do you keep bringing this up? Is that you? Do you know what that's like? Well, this video is going to help you to put an end to an argument once and for all, to stop it from coming up again and again and again and again and again. Coach Drew. Hey everybody, Coach Drew. So glad you are here to join me in making your relationships the best that they can be. We're going to talk about how to stop revolving arguments for coming up over and over and over and over again. So first of all, before we get into what you can do about it, let's really understand why this happens. Now, this is not true for everybody because some people just like to bring up old stuff. But for the most part, people bring stuff up when it's unresolved. When it's unresolved, when there's still stuff down there, it's going to keep coming up. And I know people have a rule to say, don't bring up stuff from the past. That doesn't work. You know that just doesn't work. If something hasn't been resolved, it's going to come up. And that's a good thing. If it keeps coming up, it's an indication that there's more there. So let's get into it. What can you do? You can figure out what the unresolved issue is, what that hurt is. Most of the times, people feel unheard. When you can label what that is, when you can ask, what is it? Why does this keep coming up again? Why? Help me understand why, that phrase. Help me understand why it keeps coming up again, right? Generally speaking, I tell people not to use the word why because it puts people on the defensive. But if you start with, can you help me understand why that keeps coming up again? And you hear my tone? Very different. And why you keep bringing that up again? Very different. If you don't want to use why, you can say, can you help me understand what is the most important thing about this issue for you? If you can get rid of the why, get rid of it. But if you can't, just put, could you help me understand, right? In a caring way. Number 2, understand that they want you to understand how they feel, but they want you to understand what it is that you will do. They need you to do something. If you don't understand what it is that they need you to do, when you don't do that thing again in the future, the same argument's going to come up again. I was working with a couple recently, and I've seen this many, many times again. When we don't understand the hurt, we don't understand that they're anticipating, they're hypersensitive that this thing is going to happen again. But when you zone in on what it is that they want you to change, what it is that they want you to do differently, that argument's going to stop coming up. If you choose to do it. Now, some people, not you, but some people, they get into a relationship and think that they're perfect. I am the way that I am. I'm not going to change. Like, if you refuse to change, if you refuse to grow, if you refuse to sacrifice, if you refuse to evolve, what do you think is going to happen to that relationship? People are different. I say it again and again, and it's a fact, but it's a fact that's often not appreciated. In order for 2 different people to live together, they both got to change. It just might be your turn. So be willing to change. And that's what will stop that argument from coming up again. 1, hear them out, understand where they're coming from. And 2, discover what it is that they want you to do. And 3, be willing to change. I want to know what you think. Send me a comment. Send me a question. Send me your tips. If you got something else that I can add to my toolbox, I'm open. By the way, have you subscribed yet? If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Click that button so you get notified when I post my next video. Until then, continue to learn, heal, and grow.